Today, I'm going to give you 4 tips that you don't have to use them, but 4 things I think you can try at home to do with your InMailing, your LinkedIn InMailing, things you might already be doing, but maybe things you haven't considered, and maybe just maybe you implement one of them, you implement all 4 of them, and we get your response rate up. That's what InMails are about. InMails are about getting you connected to people in your market, whether they be clients or candidates. Today I'm going to go more on the candidate route, trying to attract candidates. But our whole purpose of sending out an email is to get a candidate, right? So we want to make sure we get it right. And you probably have best practices at your business. You've probably spoken to LinkedIn about what their best practices are, but I don't take anyone's advice as gospel, as you should not take mine as gospel, because everyone's market is different. But the 4 things I want to go through today are 4 basic but very important parts of the InMail sequencing and structures and all that sort of stuff that we think move the needle. Now, we've got in our office a 20 to 30%, even higher, something like a 40% response rate on InMails, which is incredible. And I'm not talking like, oh, we're just doing like 2 or 3, customized messages, whatever. Like, I think I've sent like 2,000 InMails this year, and I'm like 2 months in, So we're doing big numbers of InMails, and we're getting huge responses back, okay? So what are we doing different to you? Probably not a lot. But I coach a lot of people, as you know, and the things that keep coming up are the same things. So I'm going to go through them. And the first thing I want to go through is, we've got 4 things today. First thing I want to go through today is just structure. Just what are you putting in your InMail, okay? It is just like any other narrative. You've got your intro, you've got your body, and you've got your ending. But you want to nail all 3 of those, okay? And there's no right or wrong, but let me just quickly walk you through how I roughly structure an InMail, okay? So my intro is always something along the lines of, hi, name, I've been engaged by X firm. Yes, I put the name of the company in there to find a senior engineer to help lead a blah, blah, blah project in Sydney, and your profile is of interest. I'm available this week to discuss in more detail. Here's my calendar, and I send a link so they can just access it. Here's my calendar if you want to book a quick 15-minute chat that suits your schedule, and then I say a bit more about the role. So I basically just get straight to the point. I just go, boom, this is what I'm here to do. Don't want to waste people's time. If they're not interested, I'll click away, whatever. But then I put in like 5 to 8 juicy bullet points on that job. Now, this is the body. The body is the bullet points. And my ethos on bullet points is the same as my ethos on ads. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Your first bullet point needs to be bloody good. There's no point in hiding your best bullet point down the bottom. Let's go, okay, bullet point 1. Is it good? Yeah, that's a really good bullet point. I'll read the next one. Is this good? Yeah, that's cool. I'll read the next one. You get my drift. If your first bullet point is weak, if it is boring, if it is asking for something, if it is just fluff, if it's not tangible, if it's generic, they're going to switch off and they're not going to read the second bullet point, let alone the other 8 that you've got there. So when you're writing your body of your email and you're thinking about those bullet points, every single bullet point needs to be, will this person read this and want to read more? If the answer is no, get rid of it. It's not worth putting in there. This is just a little teaser. This is the little thing that you want them to engage with you, right? Don't put boring stuff in there. Don't put things in there that thou shall have. We're looking for someone with this much experience, because you're basically saying I didn't read your profile. Don't put years of experience in there. Don't put any like qualifying hurdles in there. You've essentially have profiled this person. You deem them, yes, this is the sort of person that we want for this job. Therefore, we're saying, hey, I'm trying to say this. Here are the best parts about this job. So first, we got the intro, which we went through. Then we got the body, which is the bullet points on the ad. And then you've got to have a really strong outro that just kind of loops it all back together. My outro will be something like, is this something you might be interested in exploring further? ? I'm looking forward to speaking with you later this week. If not, I appreciate your time and all the best in 2025. That's it. Simple. I've seen too many people using lines like, oh, we're shortlisting now, or we're really hoping to have interviews done this week, whatever. Who the fuck are you to pop into my inbox and dictate my timeframes? You need to make this as frictionless and as simple and as chill as you possibly can. You almost want to be going, this is such a good script that I don't even mind if you don't come back or not, because we are going to fill this role. That pull marketing, that confidence needs to ooze through your in-mailing scripts, because when you start to smell desperate, people get turned off by it. They go, I wasn't even looking for a job. This looks good, but I can't do a week. I'm not going to change my whole life in a week. You got to get into the mindset of how they are receiving your messaging. You come in punching and pushing or whatever, please go away. That is the response you're going to be getting, okay? So you want to make it sound like, hey, I'm important in this process. I've been engaged by this company to find this job. Here's the level, and this is what you're going to do. Here's my calendar. Book a time if you're interested to have a 15-minute chat. And I say 15-minute chat. I never say interview. I never say anything like that, because it's just commitment. People are commitment phobes. Like, no one wants to commit to an interview. Do you? It sounds boring. No, 15-minute chat. If it's going well and you're riffing, of course that's going to go longer than 15 minutes. They don't need to know that. Hey, quick 15-minute chat. And then the calendar link I sent out says, quick 15-minute chat. Zero commitment, just a quick chat. But your skill is on the phone. Your skill is working out who's half interested in this. Okay, get them on the phone. I'll give them the good bits. I'll work out if this is for them, and then just take it from there. Then you got your body, the bullet points, make sure they're amazing. And then the ending, right? We loop back, we make it no obligated. We're just very chill about the whole thing. So that's the first thing of my 4 things I want to go through today, okay, is the overall structure. Hopefully you got something out of that, okay? The second thing I want to do is the automated follow-up. We've all seen it. There's a do you want to use an automated follow-up? We ignored this for a long time because it costs you InMails. If you send out an InMail and they don't respond, it costs you a credit. If you send a follow-up InMail and they don't respond, it costs you 2 credits. That can be quite expensive and limit your reach for other things. However, we all know that if you reach out to someone, you get your email credit back. And if you do an automated follow-up and they come back to you, you get both your credit back. So we were like, bugger it. LinkedIn said this is working. Let's give it a go. And we have seen that it does work. We are actually you've got a better chance of getting that credit back by punching that second one out than by not. So what we would typically do is an automated follow-up, which is not the brief again, which is like hey, name, just following you up on the message I sent you last week. I thought it would have been of interest to you. I'm not sure if you missed it. Still keen to have a chat if you are. I'm free this week. See my calendar link above. Hope to hear from you soon. Either they say, yeah, let's have a chat, or now all of a sudden they feel rude and they say, oh, I'm so sorry I didn't get back to you. Look, I'm just not interested. Fine. But you get your credit back. This is actually worth doing. So, and that costs you nothing to automatically put that in. I don't know what I just dropped there. It doesn't cost you anything to automatically put that in to get that follow-up going. We are seeing an increase in response rate. That was what LinkedIn told us, and that's what we're seeing as well. So I highly recommend that you do the automated follow-up. So that's number 2. Number 3, now, when are you doing your InMails? Are you thinking about the time of day at which they go out? So you got to think, when an email comes in, what happens? They get a ping in their LinkedIn account, but they're not in LinkedIn like we are. So then they get the email, right? They get an email sent to them. It's a little while after. It's not instant. It's like an hour or 2 later, but it's there. So you got to think, when is that email going to drop, and when is that less likely to get cluttered by other stuff? If you're pinging out emails because it suits you to do it in the morning, guess what? By the middle of the day, they're in the middle of their work, their inbox is overflowing, they're not getting to it. I promise you they're not getting to it. When do people clear their inbox? At the beginning of the day and at the end of the day. That's as simple as that. I think most people, the majority of people, will look at their inbox first thing in the morning, and they'll look at their inbox at the end of the day. They will look at it throughout the day, but they're not going to action anything, just making sure anything important coming through whilst they do their normal job. So they're going, oh, is anything important? Our email will not be important. I'm telling you that. In the context of it. In the beginning of the day, they're clearing it out and they're giving it thought, they're responding, whatever, they've allocated time, and the same at the end. So you got to think, when is my InMail going to drop? Furthermore, on that, I've actually noticed that when I ping out something on a Sunday, if I just schedule it for a Sunday, I get such a bigger response. I don't know if it's just people sitting on the couch watching the footy, everyone's weekends are done, maybe people are starting to prepare for next week. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because on Monday morning, everyone clears their emails on a Monday morning. Everyone. Because we've had a whole Friday, Saturday, Sunday worth of emails that we've got to catch up on. So everyone's clearing it. So Sunday's a great time to send them out. You know what I'm like, work-life balance. I'm not a huge advocate for working on the weekend, so you can schedule that stuff to go out on a Sunday. Try it. Sunday Arvo, 3 o'clock, ping them, see what happens. And mention the fact that it's a Sunday. Hey, sorry to mention you on a Sunday. I just want to make sure this landed with you. Got this role. Like, thought, consideration. Okay, you're going to get a response. So you want your credits back, or you want to either get them as a candidate, or you want your credit back. So it's all about how do you best use your InMails to your advantage, right? So that's the third one. And the last one, and this one does my head in. I can't find a valid reason for anyone to be doing this, yet I keep seeing it, and I don't understand why. And if you can tell me a reason why this is why you might do it, a valid reason, I'm all ears. But when you hear it, hopefully you scoff and say, I would never do that. But I'm guessing that at least half of you do this because everyone I meet outside of this business does this, okay? The fourth one. When you get a job and you're looking for XYZ skills in this location, there's a finite amount of people who can do it. There are only X amount of people in a city that can do that job. Some markets are massive, some are small. The majority of you here are in niches and you know your market and you should have a finite amount of people that you can go to. Why on earth, when you could be sending an InMail for a job to 100, 200 people, why on earth are you only sending your InMail to 20 people? You have zero excuses for sending 20 InMails to the market for a job and then wondering why you're not getting candidates. I'm not getting candidates because I just don't know. I think it's my script. Okay, let's look at your script. Okay, your script's fine. How many of these are you sending out? Oh, let's pull up data. They'll never pull up data. You've sent 20 InMails in the last month. That's not going to be enough. That is not going to be enough. You want to hit everyone in your candidate pool, anyone who's going to be relevant for this job, because A, it's tapping your network. B, you now know precisely what that data looks like. So when you go back to your client with, hey, I've got these 2 people. They look very decent. I've hit the market. Here are the numbers. Here are the people who responded. Here are the actual people who let me send the CV. They're going to go, okay, all right, this is it, right? This is it. We're not finding anyone else. And that will feel your confidence, right? When you send 20, can you be that confident? No, because there's probably another 100 that you haven't sent InMails to. So that's my number 4. If you're sending an InMail out for a job, make sure you hit your entire possibility of candidate in your market, okay? Of course, I'm not talking worldwide. Like if you've got a role that's like, oh, it could be someone from anywhere in the world, be reasonable. That might be the only excuse where you say, well, let's target the home city. Let's say it's a Sydney brief. Let's target everyone in Sydney because that's the logical person who's going to take that job. But now all of a sudden, if it's super niche and we have to go outside of that, I don't know. But you get my drift, okay? Hit everyone. They're my 4 steps. Have an amazing day. Upscale your LinkedIn InMailing. Make it better. Get a better response. Get your credits back. Make more money. Let's go. Okay. Like, share, subscribe. It helps us grow. As always, have an amazing day. May all your deals come true.